All right, friends, welcome to today's meditation time. Wherever you are, let that just be the right place that you have chosen for yourself. If you want to close your eyes, I invite you to do that. If you want to just find you a spot on the floor, the wall, the ceiling, whatever feels good, I would invite you to do that. And then together, let's take a slow breath in and a slow breath out. And a gentle breath in. And a gentle breath out. And from there, you settle into a round of breath, each pace from the in to the out, in a way that feels right for you. And allow yourself to settle just a little more. Getting comfortable, adjusting as you need to adjust. Just allowing yourself just to really be here in this present moment. The Yoga Sutra that inspires this moment where we've all gathered comes from the 4th chapter. It's number 22, and it's about this Sanskrit concept of Purusha. Purusha. It's a word that we often stay away from because it feels like something really unattainable. But it's mentioned not only through the sutras many, many times, but it's mentioned in all of the great texts that teach us about yoga and meditation and living. Because Purusha is this pure consciousness of who we each are. And the deeper that we learn about Purusha, and the more that we study this concept, we start to realize that this beautiful, pure consciousness within me is the same beautiful, pure consciousness within you and within you and within that person that lives in your home and that person that you see on the street. And the reason that they're all the same and connected is because they are all connected to one divine source in this universe. This beautiful infilling of this divine presence. Purusha. Oftentimes, again, we feel like it's elusive and that it's not for us. It's for the priests and the saints and the monks and the people who've dedicated their lives to service. But every text about yoga, about meditation, about mindful practice, they teach us that we truly are all filled with this divine presence, Purusha. And sometimes we give that divine presence a name. For some people, it's God or Lord or Ram. Others, it's a name in the language that they speak that is connected to the spiritual tradition that they follow. But the interesting thing about it is that when I start to realize that this divine presence exists in me and that you and I are the same, I start to realize that whatever name you give to this divine presence is right, as is the name that I give to this divine presence. Because we are all connected. And as Patanjali, this author, talks about Purusha in this 22nd sutra, he tells us that we really need to let go of and release the things that block our view of it. We have these behaviors, these personality traits, these things that we do that are not very Purusha-like. And so what Patanjali tells us in this 22nd sutra is, little by little, as you become aware of them, let these things go. Because living from a place of divine presence within you, why would you want to cover that up with anything? And so today in our practice, we're going to go through just a few rounds of release. Releasing some of the things that I believe we all have struggled with. And what we'll do is we'll find the awareness that that thing probably exists somewhere within us. And then we'll use this tangible breath of the breath out as our way of signifying we are ready to let it go. And I wish I could tell you that with one exhale, we will release things like selfishness or impatience or whatever it is that's not very Purusha-like. But all we're trying to do today is just build the awareness of those things, so that as we think about this idea of moving through our life as a vessel of this divine presence of the universe within us, we won't want to act from those other ways of being. We're not going to want them to cover it up. We're going to want to be a source of light wherever we go. And when we see that light in others, it will inspire us to let our light shine just as much. And so again, we'll use our breath to first, as we breathe in, to be aware of these habits. And then as we breathe out, as a conscious commitment, that we want to let these things go. And so as you sit up nice and tall, or you stretch out nice and long, just allow the breath just to really move up and down the center of your body. And let's start with this idea of impatience. Something that all human beings have struggled with. Impatience. So as we breathe in together, recognizing impatience is something that we've all acted from at some point in our lives, today, recently. But as you breathe out, be willing to release it. Again, breathing in, understanding impatience is something that we've all struggled with. And as you breathe out, be willing to release it. One more time, breathing in this awareness that I too have acted impatiently. And breathing out, I want to release the impatience. I don't want to keep anything in the way of this light shining through me. And then the next one, anger. Anger is a valid emotion. It is something that we feel that is part of this emotional layer of who we are. But when the anger is held onto, it becomes something very different. How can we let the light of this divine presence within us shine through when we can't let go of anger? And so just like with impatience, let's first recognize that we have it, that we've experienced it, that we've held on to it. And let's let the exhale represent a willingness to turn loose of it. So breathing in, being aware of the fact that we've held on to anger at different points in our life longer than we should. And as you exhale, just commit, I want the anger to go. Breathing in, recognizing the anger has held on. I've held on to it. Exhale. I don't want to hold on to it anymore. Breathing in, full awareness. The anger is there. It's been there. Breathing out. I'm ready for it to go. And so we've sat with impatience, something that we have all grappled with. We've sat with anger, this emotion that we feel, and feeling it is not wrong, but the holding on to it causes us trouble. And then finally, let's sit with selfishness. Selfishness is this idea that our needs are greater than the needs of others. It doesn't mean that our self-care is not important and that it should not be at the top of the list. But it's not there at the sacrifice or at the detriment of other human beings. Because as we learn about Purusha, we're all the same. We're all connected. So let's sit with selfishness, thinking about this idea of how it has manifested in our lives and committing to letting it go. Breathing in. I am aware that there have been times in my life where I have been selfish. And breathing out. I'm ready to move beyond that. Breathing in. Full awareness of how selfishness has taken root in my life before. Breathing out. I'm ready for it to be uprooted. Breathing in. Seeing the selfishness. Knowing it has existed. Breathing out. Seeing it going away. And so as we pause here for just these next couple of moments of quiet, let's just sit with our commitment to first being aware of how impatience and anger and selfishness have had a foothold in our lives. Maybe one of these a little more current than the others for you. Maybe not. But knowing that they've existed for all of us at different points in our lives, but today, we don't want to have anything covering up this Purusha, this pure, light-filled, divinely present consciousness of who we are. We want that to shine through, not the impatience, not the anger, and not the selfishness. And so as we sit in the quiet, just turn your attention inward, almost like you're looking into your heart. See the light. Focus on the light. See this divine presence within you, as much as you can see the stars in the night sky. Hold on to that image as you breathe, and let the anger and the impatience and the selfishness lose their spot. So they have to go. And as you continue to breathe, continue to see that light within. And again, whatever name that you ascribe to this divine presence that's holding the universe together that also exists within you, just imagine yourself saying to this entity, this being, maybe you call this Lord or Ram or Allah, whatever the name is, can you imagine saying to that divine entity, I don't have enough space for you because I want to hold on to this selfishness and this anger and this impatience just in case I need them. And that sounds silly to even think about. But yet we hold on to these things, sometimes not even realizing that we're doing it. So in the coming days, when you notice one of these three begin to bubble back up, just imagine yourself saying out loud, I don't have room for the full divine light within me. Because right now the room is being given to the selfishness. And as soon as you feel that little prick of your spirit, breathe out and let it go. No matter what situation caused you to feel that way, let it go. Let the anger go. Let the impatience go. Let the selfishness go. So that the full space of your consciousness is filled with light. And then notice how you move through your life from that perspective. Purusha. It's the same in me as it is in you. And it deserves to have the full space, all the layers of the consciousness, the full being of who we are. Namaste.